Yes, tonight the president tweeted that he wanted the General Services Administrator, Emily Murphy, to do what needs to be done to start the initial stages of the transition. This is big because Murphy's agency holds a pivotal role in making sure the transition goes smoothly. Under the Presidential Transition Act, the GSA provides funding to the president-elect's team for things like office space, staff compensation, and travel. This memorandum of understanding between Biden's team and the GSA, signed back in early September, showed the Democratic ticket could stand to receive roughly $7 million for the transition process. Well, Murphy finally wrote the president-elect that the GSA would indeed soon make its resources and services available to his team. Murphy had declined to do so for weeks because she said the GSA had not yet ascertained, quote, an apparent president-elect. This will likely come as a relief to many lawmakers on the Hill who feared a stalled transition would threaten national security. The office of the president-elect said in a statement tonight, today's decision is a needed step to begin tackling the challenges facing our nation. Leslie?
All right, John, thank you. And one more thing about the official start of the transition. It will give the incoming team a chance to meet with current staffers like the ones putting together plans to distribute the COVID vaccine.